I will use walnut wood to make this project. To get the desired thickness, I need to cut it in half on a saw. After cutting, the surface of the wood is not perfectly smooth, so I'll use a thickness planer to smooth both sides. This will not only give me a perfectly smooth surface, but also the exact thickness I need, which is 12 millimeters. This is a crucial step to ensure that all subsequent work is precise and polished. I designed the Flower of Life pattern in Fusion 360. This allowed me to perfectly tailor it to the dimensions and style I had in mind. After designing the pattern, I saved it in DXF format, which I can now easily open in the xTool laser software. Cutting these elements by hand would have taken me a lot of time, and the precision would not have been the same. The STOL P2 laser cuts through this wood in one pass, doing it very quickly and precisely. Links to all the tools I used in this video can be found in the video description. To precisely glue all the small elements into place, I used the laser to burn the pattern onto a sheet of paper. I adjusted the laser's power and speed so that the paper was marked but not cut through. Then, I taped the paper onto the base to ensure that every piece would be placed exactly where it needed to go. If you're interested in how to create a mold for this project, check out my tutorial. I'll put a link here in the top corner. Once the pattern was ready, I started gluing all the wooden pieces using fast glue. It's important that all the parts are stable and don't move while I pour the epoxy resin. It takes some time to glue all the pieces into place, but with a little patience everything can be done. To make sure the resin doesn't leak out, I hot glued the mold and sealed it with silicone. Before pouring the main layer of resin, I need to seal the wood to prevent it from absorbing too much resin and causing air bubbles. I pour 80 grams of resin and spread it with a brush over all the wooden elements to seal them properly. For this project, I'll need 900 grams of epoxy resin, divided into 6 cups. In each cup, I add a different color and mix them thoroughly to get a uniform color. It's important that the colors are well mixed so the final effect is stunning. Once the colors are ready, I pour them in the predetermined order to create smooth transitions between the shades. This step is crucial for the visual effect. I need to be precise so that the colors blend beautifully. At the end, I gently swirl the resin with sticks to achieve a more natural transition between the colors. After 24 hours, when the resin is hardened, I can remove it from the mold. I sand both sides to make them perfectly flat and attach the pieces to the table using double-sided tape. Now I use a flat end bit to mill the surface down to about 2 millimeters in thickness. This step gives the element a nice, even shape. I also sand the edges to even them out before proceeding with the next steps. I now pour another 200 grams of resin over the surface, spreading it evenly. After another 24 hours, when the resin has fully cured, I lightly sand both sides. Then, I use a handheld router with a rounding bit to round off the edges, giving the project a smooth, elegant finish. The final layer of resin is 130 grams, which I spread by hand, wearing gloves, to ensure an even coat over the entire piece. After another 24 hours, the project is almost finished. I sand the back, starting with 80 grit sandpaper and finishing with 400 grit to achieve a perfect smoothness. In the center of the clock, I drill an 8mm hole to fit the clock mechanism. I also use a laser cut template to precisely mark the location of the mechanism. After routing out the space for the mechanism, I sand it lightly and remove the template. To protect the back of the clock, I use oil with wax, which will protect the wood because it is not protected with resin like the front. To create the numbers, I also use the xTool laser to cut out templates on paper. This helps me perfectly align the numbers. This time, I'm using 3mm thick plexiglass and a gold mirror finish for the numbers. This adds an elegant touch and makes the clock truly unique. Having such a laser, I can design numbers and make them myself. This makes each project unique because I even make the numbers myself and I don't buy ready-made ones like any other that can be found on the internet. I glue the numbers with quick glue to the places cut out on the template. And after they're secure, I peel off the protective film from the mirror finish. This leaves the numbers shiny, clean, and looking fantastic. The only thing left to do is install the clock mechanism, attach the golden hands, and set the correct time. And there you have it. The clock is ready, and I think it looks amazing. The golden Roman numerals contrast beautifully with the colorful resin and the wooden flower of life design. What do you think about this project? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.